So today in this video we are checking how to connect all the texture with your Blender file. So Blender file you will create, no? So whenever you are saving your project, it will create one .blend file, correct? No? So in that file, how you will add the texture informations. So let me select my floor and I will add one image texture for this one. So adding the material, base material, image texture, open. I just added the image texture here. By adding the texture image here, see, now I added from one particular path, right? So you can see desktop, new folder. So there I have texture 002. So while you are working, unknowingly what you did, you just removed or moved your texture file to different location. Okay, now I just added that whatever texture I applied here, no, that to new folder. Okay, so at that time what it will do, like here it will show anyway, but let me save this project and I will try to reopen this one. Texture check. Now you can see it is showing pink color. Why? Because like the texture image previously we had, no, that is moved to new folder. Now Blender file, it couldn't find actual path of your texture. So this is the issue. So how to resolve this one? So in order to resolve this one, we have something called as packing. Okay, so texture packing. So how to pack the texture with your Blender file? So what you will do in some other cases and all, like you will move your texture file here and there, then it is difficult, right? So if you are sending this one to your friend, at that time he won't see any texture image. So whatever texture image you applied to different object, he won't see, because in his computer the file location is different, right? So obviously he will see this pink color. So in order to get rid of this issue, what you can do one thing called as packing. How to do that? So you can go to file, external data, then you have something called as pack resources. Okay, so if you hit this pack resources, right, or else see, if the images are right now in our case the resources is missing, right? So how to add that one, that I will show first of all. So in order to add the missing file, you can go to file, external data, find missing files. Okay, now the file is missed, that's why I am hitting this one. Now I should give the new folder, like why? Because in new folder I have that texture. Okay, I change to new folder, that's why you just go to new folder and then you just click on find missing file, because I have texture 002 here. Now I will hit find missing file. At that time it will add your texture image here, and this is one case. Okay, and in order to pack this one, okay, in order to pack this one, so why this packing is important, I will show you in a minute. So now what I will do, I will just pack this texture image with my Blender file. In order to pack it, what I will do, file, external data, pack resources I have. Okay, that I can click. Now what happened, let me change the file location. So this is here. Okay, I will change this one to, now let me save the project and I'm opening again. At this time you can see nothing happened, everything is okay, because right now texture image is packed inside my Blender file. Okay, so now if you are sending this Blender file to your friend, so he won't find any issue, he will see all the texture properly. Okay, but the issue is, there is one issue by packing the textures. Okay, I will tell you what is that. By packing all the texture image with your Blender file, no, so the size of Blender file it will increase. Okay, let's take, before packing all the texture image, it will be 2 MB or 1 MB data, after applying all the texture in your all the packing you are doing, after that the size of blender file, it will increase up to like 20 MB or 30 MB, 100 MB and all based on your texture resolution. At that time what will happen? The one more guy who is accessing your blender file, right? He will feel like the blender file is loading. Okay, blender file is loading while opening the blender file and all. Okay, so that issue is there, but at the same time you have other users also. Okay, so that's all. So if you want to remove whatever packed data, okay, this is already packed, you don't want to pack it, at that time what you can do, you can go to file, there is something called as external data, then you can unpack resources. Okay, now it is unpacked. Now what I will do, let me save this one. By unpacking, what it will do, you can see this is a texture file. Okay, texture file, you can see something called as texture 001 JPG is created here. Okay, there is one more option called as see, just now I packed it, right? So I just pack all the resources, you can see pack resources, and there is one more option called as automatically pack resources. What is the difference between pack resource and automatically pack resources? Means like if I click pack resources right now, so till now whatever texture we have, it will pack. Okay, and after this moment, if I am adding new textures and all, then it won't be considered. Okay, those things are not considered, so those things you have to pack it again. Okay, but in case of automatically, if I check this one, no, like I just checked it, you can see automatically pack resources. At that time what will happen, in future if you are adding new textures to this one, okay, at that time what will happen, it also added to the blend file. Okay, so by selecting this one, I'll add it here. So one texture is added here, so this one also packed with the blender file. Now directly you can send it to your friend or whoever, like he will get this images also. Okay, this is the difference between automatically packed and just pack resources. Okay, the issue with this one, like the packing, as I already explained, like by having different resources in your blend file, the size of blend file it will increase, right? So if you want to get rid of that one, you don't want to pack it, you want to unpack all the texture, then what you can do, you can go to file, then there is something called as unpack. Okay, you have to do automatically pack resources, uncheck. Okay, you should uncheck. Then what you can do, you can go here. Okay, then you can do unpack resources. At that time it will show different options here. There is mainly two things, one is write files to current directory, okay, and one more is use files in current directory. So it has two different the cases. Okay, in the first case what it will do, like whatever files are there in current directory means right now my blender file is there in desktop new folder, in that folder we have the blender file, no? So whatever files, okay, whatever textures are there in new folder, it won't be unpacked. Okay, and it will be there as it is, and rest of all it will unpack there, okay, in the current directory. And in one more case, write files to current directory means it will unpack everything. Okay, so if I hit this one, what it will do, you can go to your new folder. Okay, in new folder you can see here only. Now this is a texture check, right? So there is one extra folder is created, textures. In that these are the like whatever I used, okay, already used textures it is showing. Okay, all related resources you can see it here. So this is what happened. Okay, now it will create a separate folder and it will add all the resources in that folder. Now what you can do in case of sending the data, you can send this blend file as well as you can send this textures separately, that you can do. So textures is separate, this one is separate. Later that like friend, what he will do, he will add this texture and texture folder in one particular folder. At that time everything will be getting okay. So in order to have all the textures, he should add both in same directory. Fine. And there is one more thing called as relative path, that is like if you go to edit preference and something called as save and loads, there you can see relative path is checked by default. So in this way, like if you are giving your blend file, okay, blend file and your texture folder to your friend, okay, so he will like by adding these two folder. And one thing like in that case, whatever I just mentioned, that folder and blend file, you should make sure edit preference and in your save and loads this relative paths is checked, okay, so then only it will work. Okay, so these things are related to packing and unpacking of resources. This is very important.